14. Whoo, lactic acid. Burn it, baby. 15. Wow. Hey guys, Mark McKillier with Live Anabolic, and today I'm going to give you a metabolic boosting workout. So, first off, what is metabolism? All right. And basically, your metabolism is just the amount of calories that your body naturally burns every day just to keep you alive. All right. With bare minimum, absolutely no physical activity. So, if all you did was lounge around and sleep and lay on the couch all day and watch TV, that would be how many calories you burn, or your basal metabolic rate. A lot of people call it your resting metabolic rate, all right? And there's some apps online you can look up real easily, and it's gonna ask you your age, your height, your weight, and it's gonna ask you basically like how much physical activity you do in a day, and it'll give you a list to choose from, and then it'll tell you what it is. Now that's just a rough approximation, all right? Now, a lot of people, me included, have thought that as we age, our metabolism just slows down, okay? And that's one of the reasons why we put on fat as we age. Well, guess what? It doesn't. Your metabolism stays, or your resting metabolic rate stays basically the same until you hit about 60 years old. And even at 60, I just turned 60, it slows down very gradually thereafter, about 1% a year. So that's very negligible. So what's going on? Why are we just putting on a lot of weight as we get older, right? Well, there's several factors, right? So even though your metabolism hadn't slowed down, you do produce less testosterone as you age, and that's one of the big problems, okay? And I've shot several other videos about that. So just use our little search button right here in this YouTube channel to search for, testosterone, and you can read or watch the video about that, all right? So our testosterone does decline with age, but our metabolic rate really doesn't, okay? But we can temporarily boost our metabolism with certain types of workouts. And why would we want to do that? Well, because when your metabolism is temporarily elevated, you do burn more calories than when you're just sitting around on the couch, all right, watching a movie, all right? And so there's certain types of workouts that do that better than others. So today is going to be a modified HIT workout, and that stands for high intensity interval training. So we're going to keep our rest relatively low in between exercises and in between sets, which is going to boost our breathing, our heart rate. We're going to get out of breath, basically, all right? Now, if you do it right, all right, you create something called the EPOC effect, and that stands for excess post-exercise oxygen consumption. Crazy, it's weird, all right? Just think of that as the afterburn effect. So if you do certain exercises with enough intensity, all right, and cram them together and really get your heart rate up and get that lactic acid burning in your muscles that you feel, that soreness, that pain, all right, you will raise your metabolic rate for several hours after the workout's over. Now, this is completely different than going out and just jogging steady state 2 or 3 miles. Now, while you're jogging, you have raised your metabolism and you're burning more calories while you're jogging. But because it's slow, steady state cardio, as soon as you stop, your metabolic rate drops back down to its resting rate within a few minutes, all right? So today's workout is going to be different than that. And that's why I like them, because it's just real time efficient. You just don't have to go out and spend 45 minutes or an hour and a half doing long, boring cardio sessions. Okay, so just a second ago, I said your metabolism doesn't decline with age, and that's true, all right? However, you can damage your metabolism, all right? And I see people do it occasionally, okay, in our Facebook group, and that is guys get really gung-ho about losing weight, and they radically cut their caloric intake. So if you cut your calories too much, you basically damage your metabolism, and it's a temporary thing. It's not a permanent damage, but your body can be pretty smart, and it thinks it's in starvation mode, and so it really does slow your metabolism down if you're routinely, day after day, taking in too few calories. All right, so those men will start to lose fat at first, and then after a few weeks or a few months, they'll plateau and they don't know what's going on. They're eating like a bird, but they're not losing any more fat, all right? So that's because they've damaged their metabolic rate, all right? And that's one of the reasons why I recommend guys only shoot for about a 500 calorie per day deficit, okay? That's not very much. It doesn't confuse your body into think you're in starvation, and it won't slow your metabolism down, okay? So anyway, that is a caveat as far as your metabolism, slowing down with age. It's not age doing it. It's because you lowered your caloric intake too much for too long. So before I get into today's killer workout, man, and it is killer if you do it right, all right? I want to talk to you about our Facebook group, which is totally free, and it's by far and away the best fitness group on all of Facebook. And that's not just me saying that's the guys in the group. We have 18,000 men all over the world, just like you, okay? All right, I'm the moderator, so I'm there answering questions every day, and it is a blast. So just click the link below this video, all right, and join the group. I promise you won't regret it. And then the other thing is, real quick, do us a favor and help us spread the great word about this YouTube channel. So hit that little like button, all right, below the video here, share it with some of your friends, and then be sure to subscribe, because Gary and I are putting out videos every week, and you don't want to miss one. All right, so this workout today is a little more complicated and hence confusing than the typical workouts I put together. And that's just because of the fact that I wanted to create a modified HIIT style workout. So remember, we're going to do 15 reps. And the reason I picked 15 is because if you're doing good form, 15 reps takes about 30 seconds. So you're going to be doing 30 seconds on of the exercise. Then you're going to rest 30 seconds. Then you're going to do that same exercise again for 15 more reps. Then you're going to rest for 30 seconds and then move on to the next exercise. So remember, we're doing each exercise twice before moving on to the next one, all right? So doing this with, and keeping the rest to a minimum, i.e. 30 seconds, you're going to get really out of breath. Now, I'm just going to demonstrate the exercises and kind of talk you through it, because if I do it, all right, the way I want you to, I will be so out of breath, I won't be able to talk to the camera, all right? So here we go. The first exercise, all right, it's just a flat bench press. So pick a weight that you can do with good form for 15 reps. Typically, I'm having you guys do 8 to 12, all right, because that's the honey hole for building muscle. But today, it's not just about building muscle. I want you to really get that heart rate up. And to do that means you need to do more reps and keep the rest to a minimum. Okay, so here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Going down. All right, I'm going to talk real quick. Look at my watch. 30 seconds is the rest time. So if you happen to time those 15 reps, I guarantee you that was at least 30 seconds, maybe closer to 35, all right? And that's fine if it takes you longer than 30 seconds. The deal is I don't want you resting for more than 30 seconds. So I'm going to watch my watch here, and I'm going to do another set, all right? So catch my breath, and I got to do 15 more reps here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Oh my gosh, that lactic acid is building up in my chest, my shoulders, and my triceps. All right, let's look at the clock. Boom. I need to time 30 seconds before I move on to the next exercise, which is something completely different. All right, so you guys should have rested 30 seconds after that second set of presses, all right? Then you'll be moving straight on to this exercise. Now, we're gonna be hitting legs now, completely different. These are called Bulgarian split squats, all right? We're going to do one leg at a time. And this is going to be slightly different because we're doing one leg at a time. We're not going to do 2 full sets. All right, each leg in this case is considered a set. So let's start with set number 1. We're going to do our right leg. Take a nice long step forward. Back foot goes up on the bench, and don't do it right behind you. You got to move your foot off to the side to give you stability, okay? And we're just going to do 15 reps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. All right, now look at your watch and time 30 seconds rest before we go over and switch over to the left leg. Now, if you can't do 15 consecutive reps, that's fine. Do as many as you can, all right? Go to failure, then stop and start your 30-second rest period, all right? So, that's a big muscle group. So you're gonna be slightly out of breath. The nice thing is though, we're switching to the other leg now, and we're not gonna hit our right leg again. Here we go, 15 reps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. All right, here we go. Start your 30-second rest before we move on to the next exercise. Okay, on to the third exercise, completely different body part. We're gonna be hitting biceps. We're gonna be doing 2-arm twisting dumbbell curls. All right, now we're back to the more conventional 15 reps, then rest for 30 seconds. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Whoo! I can feel that lactic acid kicking in. All right, so guys, start your 30-second rest period. Those 15 reps, once again, took me roughly 30 seconds. So this one, I'm gonna take that rest period and I'm gonna do it again, all right? That was not the case with those Bulgarian split squats. We just did each leg one time, okay? So when we're doing one arm or one leg exercises, it's different in today's workout than it normally would be. All right, whew. Just about 30 seconds. Let's go. Don't use a very heavy weight or you're not going to be able to get through 2 sets of 15. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, lactic acid, burning, baby. 15, wow. Arms are burning, but that is the key, guys. You should be out of breath and those muscles should be really hurting. That's what's gonna create that epoch effect. That's gonna raise our metabolic rate for several hours after this workout is long over. All right, the fourth exercise today is gonna have us down on the floor. And once again, I'm targeting a completely different muscle group, all right? So we're gonna be focusing on our back now. And these are called renegade rows. And these are gonna be killer, guys. So don't use real heavy weights. Now this is going to be similar to those Bulgarian split squats because we're just going to do one arm at a time, like we did one leg at a time on the split squat. So we're just going to do 15 rows on one arm. We're going to rest for 30 seconds. Then we're going to do 15 rows on the other arm, rest for 30 seconds. And then we're going to move on to a completely different exercise. We're not going to do 2 full sets, okay? So here we go. You're going to need a nice wide base. You're in a plank position, all right, very similar to a push-up, all right? And you're going to have to rock to one side slightly, and we're just going to do rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Woo! Rest for 30 seconds. I like doing this with a watch, but guys, you can have your smartphone out, laying on the ground. You could just have the stopwatch feature going, and you can restart it every time, or you can just look at the time and go, all right, I'm going to add 30 seconds. All right, so catch your breath. We're going to do the left arm next. Whoo! But remember, we're only doing each side once. All right, then we're going to move on to the 5th and final exercise of the circuit. Nice wide base. Rock over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Oh, whoo. So what we're doing here is we're really engaging our core. And so your core is going to tire out before your back, all right, with this particular movement because we're doing so many reps. Now, if we were doing heavier weights and only 8 reps, your back would get tired at about the same time that your core gives out. But this is a different way of doing it, I promise, guys. So 30 seconds rest, move on to the 5th and final exercise in the circuit. All right, so guys, on these Renegade rows, I want you to think of them just like those Bulgarian split squats, all right? If you can't do 15 nonstop, that's okay. Do as many as you can. Go to failure, all right? Then stop, all right? Rest for 30 seconds and do the other side. You were not gonna be able to get to 15 on the other side if you couldn't do it on the first side, trust me. So do as many as you can on the other side, go to failure, stop, rest for 30 seconds, then move on to the 5th and final exercise. All right, I have you standing back up again. I'm sure you're happy after those Renegade rows. Those are killer, all right? These are gonna be standing overhead dumbbell presses, okay? So remember, 15 reps is a lot, so you can't use much weight. Now, for you guys who have bad shoulders and you can't do this movement, I want you to do lateral raises instead, okay? Because even the guys with bad shoulders, most of you guys can do lateral raises because you don't need to bring your hands very high, all right? And guys, you can't do much weight, all right? So here we go. 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Woo! All right, let's get that 30-second timer going. Boom. Now, guys, if you happen to have picked a weight that was just a little too heavy, you couldn't make it to 15, you only made it to, say, 12, that's fine. Put the weight down, rest, pick a lighter set of dumbbells, okay, for your second set, because you're gonna already be burned out. If you could only get to 12 the first time, you're not gonna be able to do more than about 8 or 9 on your second set. So remember, only 30 seconds rest. That's what keeps it a high intensity interval training style workout, okay? Here we go. This is the last set of the circuit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and woo! Oh my God. Killer lactic acid. I'm out of breath, and that is the point, guys. So what you just watched me do is one circuit. All right, now for you beginners out there, all right, I only want you to do 2 circuits because this is a tough workout, okay? And when you go from one circuit to the next, don't rest 30 seconds. Give yourself much longer. You're gonna need a couple of minutes. I want you to catch your breath, all right, before you start the second circuit. For you guys that are more intermediate and advanced guys, you're gonna need to do 3 to 5 circuits, okay? And once again, you guys can rest, all right, for a minute or 2 in between circuits. The goal is, though, when you're going from exercise to exercise and set to set within the circuit, try to only rest for 30 seconds, because if you're doing 15 reps, you're working for roughly 30 seconds. So this whole workout is based on 30 seconds on and 30 seconds off. Once you get to the end of a circuit, boom, then you can kind of gather yourself and catch your breath, but don't rest 5 or 10 minutes, okay? I don't want your heart rate to come all the way back down. I just want you to basically catch your breath good enough to start another circuit. All right, so today's workout was a killer, guys. If you were doing it right and keeping the rest to a minimum, man, it got me. And I was stopping and getting a little bit of rest so that I could talk to the camera in between exercises. But remember, guys, the goal of today's workout is not just building muscle. It's raising your metabolic rate, all right? Now, this is not gonna permanently raise your metabolism, okay? But it will, all right, for a couple hours, even after the workout's over. Man, you can go hop in the shower, you can get in front of the computer and start doing some work. Your heart rate and your breathing are gonna be back to normal, but still your metabolic rate is gonna be higher than it normally would be if you had done a more traditional type workout. So guys, great workout. It's tough, but if you stick with it and never give up on yourself, I promise you'll be able to burn body fat, put on muscle, and feel much younger than your age.